and welcome to Clearly English, the podcast where we help you speak English with confidence. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex.
Today, we're talking about something that stops so many English learners from speaking, the belief that you need perfect grammar before you can communicate. That feeling of knowing exactly what you want to say, but stopping yourself because you're not sure if the grammar is right. And so instead of speaking, you stay silent. You wait. You study a little more, and you tell yourself, I'll speak when my grammar is better. If that sounds familiar, this episode is going to change the way you think about speaking English. Before we get started, if you are enjoying Clearly English, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new lesson. And when you finish today, leave a comment below and tell us, has grammar fear ever stopped you from speaking English? Tell us your story. We read every single comment, and sharing is already a brave step. So Alex, let's start with you. Does grammar worry ever hold you back?
Honestly, all the time. Like, I'll be in a situation where I want to say something in English, and I know the words, I know what I want to communicate, but then I start thinking, wait, is this the right tense? Should I say have or had? Is this sentence correct? And by the time I've finished worrying, the moment has passed, and I said nothing.
And how does that feel?
Frustrating, really frustrating, because I know what I want to say, the thought is there, but the fear of saying it wrong just freezes me.
And this is so incredibly common. I hear this from English learners all over the world. They understand English well, they have thoughts, ideas, opinions, but the grammar fear creates a wall between the thought and the words, and that wall keeps them silent. And here's what I want to say to everyone listening right now. That wall is not protecting you. It is holding you back. And today, we are going to start breaking it down.
I really need that because I feel like I've been stuck behind that wall for a long time.
And you're not alone. So let's start by talking about what grammar actually is and what role it plays in communication. Grammar is a set of rules that helps organize language. And yes, grammar is helpful. Good grammar makes your English clearer and easier to understand. Nobody's saying grammar doesn't matter, but here is the key thing. Grammar is a tool. It is not the goal. The goal is communication, and communication can happen even when grammar is not perfect.
So grammar helps, but it's not the only thing.
Exactly. Think about it this way. Imagine you are in a foreign country. You don't speak the language well. You are hungry and you need to find food. Now, would you stay silent and go hungry because you can't speak perfect sentences? Or would you try your best with simple words and gestures to communicate what you need?
I try my best, of course.
And would people understand you?
Probably yes, because the situation is clear and I'm trying to communicate.
Exactly. And that's communication. Imperfect maybe, but effective. And that's what we're going for. Effective communication, not grammatically perfect speech. Now, let me show you some examples of English that is not perfect, but still completely understandable. I'm going to say something, and I want you to tell me if you understand it. Yesterday, I go to store and buy bread.
Yes, I understand. You went to the store yesterday and bought bread.
The grammar is wrong. Go should be went, buy should be bought. But did the communication work?
Yes, completely.
Now let's try another one. I have 2 children and they is very funny.
I understand. You have 2 children and they are very funny. Children's and they is are wrong, but the meaning is clear.
Yes, the meaning is completely clear. And one more. She no like coffee, she prefer tea.
She doesn't like coffee. She prefers tea. Again, grammar mistakes, but totally understandable.
Exactly. Now, I'm not saying we should never improve our grammar. We should. But I am saying that imperfect grammar does not stop communication. And waiting for perfect grammar before speaking is like waiting to be a perfect swimmer before getting in the water. You learn to swim by getting in the water. You improve your grammar by speaking.
So speaking actually improves grammar, not just studying it.
Yes, when you speak, you get feedback. You hear yourself. You notice what sounds right and what sounds wrong. You hear how other people respond. And over time, your grammar improves naturally through practice. But if you stay silent, your grammar stays exactly where it is. Silence does not improve anything.
That's such an important point. Silence doesn't improve anything.
It doesn't. So the path forward is to speak, even imperfectly, even with mistakes, and let the speaking improve your grammar over time. Now, let me teach you some really simple, really powerful sentence patterns that you can use to communicate clearly in almost any situation. These patterns are so simple that the grammar is almost automatic. And once you know them, you have a foundation for communicating in any situation.
Okay, I'm ready to learn these.
The first pattern is I want to. I want to is one of the most useful phrases in English. I want to go. I want to eat. I want to learn. I want to try. Try it.
I want to speak better English.
Perfect. Simple, clear, correct. The second pattern is I need to. I need to go. I need to call someone. I need to buy groceries. Try it.
I need to practice more.
Excellent. The third pattern is I'm going to. I'm going to work. I'm going to study. I'm going to try. Try it.
I'm going to speak more English every day.
Perfect. The fourth pattern is I like. I like coffee. I like music. I like learning. Try it.
I like listening to this podcast.
Great. And the fifth pattern is I have to. I have to go. I have to work. I have to study. Try it.
I have to improve my English.
Perfect. So now you have 5 powerful patterns. I want to, I need to, I'm going to, I like, I have to. These 5 patterns can carry you through so many conversations, and the grammar in all of them is simple and reliable. You're not likely to make a mistake with these.
Yeah, they all feel really stable, like I can trust them.
Exactly. Trust your patterns. When you feel nervous, go back to your patterns. I want to, I need to, I'm going to, I like, I have to. These are your foundation, and from this foundation, you can build any conversation. Now let's practice using these in real-life situations, because that's where it really matters. Let's start with a coffee shop. Alex, you walk up to the counter and the person says, "Hi, what can I get for you?" What do you say?
Okay. I want to get a coffee, please.
Perfect. I want to get a coffee. Simple, clear, correct. Now, what if you want something specific, like a large coffee with milk?
I want to get a large coffee with milk, please.
Excellent. And what if they ask, anything else?
I need to get a bottle of water, too, please.
Perfect. I need to get a bottle of water. You used I need to naturally in a real situation. How did that feel?
Easy, actually, because the pattern gave me confidence.
Exactly. The pattern holds you. Now let's try asking for directions. You're lost and you stop someone on the street. What do you say?
Excuse me, I need to find the train station. Can you help me?
Perfect. Simple, clear, polite, and completely correct. What if they give you directions and you don't fully understand?
I'm sorry, can you say that again, please? I need to understand better.
Excellent. I need to understand better. That's honest and natural. Now let's try a work situation. Your coworker asks, "Can you finish that report today?" What do you say?
I want to finish it today, but I need more time. Can I send it tomorrow?
That's wonderful. You used both I want to and I need in one answer. And it was clear, polite, and professional. Now let's try meeting a friend. Your friend asks, "What are you doing this weekend?" What do you say?
I'm going to visit my family on Saturday, and I like to relax on Sundays.
Perfect. I'm going to visit my family. I like to relax. 2 patterns used naturally in one answer. You're building real sentences from simple foundations.
It feels good, like the patterns are doing the work, and I just fill in the details.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of patterns. They give your brain a structure to work with. So instead of building every sentence from scratch, you're just completing a familiar template, and that's so much easier under pressure. Now let's talk about the moment when you feel nervous. Because even with patterns, there are moments when you hesitate, when you stumble, when you're not sure what to say. And I want to help you with that too. Alex, let's practice this. I'm going to give you a situation, and I want you to first say it the nervous way, with hesitation, and then say it again in a clearer, more confident way. Ready?
Okay, ready.
You want to ask your boss for a day off next week. the nervous version first.
Boss, maybe I want to, next week, day off. Is that okay?
Good. Now, the confident version. Same idea, simple patterns.
I want to take a day off next Friday. Is that okay with you?
Perfect. Same information, much clearer. And the grammar was simple and correct. How different did those feel?
So different. The nervous version was exhausting. The confident version felt easy.
And the difference was not grammar knowledge. You had the same grammar knowledge both times. The difference was pattern and confidence. Now let's try another one. You want to tell a friend you're running late. Nervous version first.
Hey, the time I going to be, late? Sorry.
Okay, now confident version.
Hey, I'm going to be a little late. I'm sorry. I need about 10 more minutes.
Excellent. I'm going to be a little late. I need about 10 more minutes. Two perfect patterns, completely clear, the grammar is fine, and you communicated exactly what you needed to. Now, one more. You're at a restaurant and the waiter brings you the wrong order. Nervous version.
I order, not this. I want other, different.
Now, confident version.
Excuse me, I think this is wrong. I need to check my order. I want the chicken, not the fish.
Perfect. I need to check my order. I want the chicken. Simple, clear, direct. And the waiter understands exactly what you need. Do you see how much more effective the confident version is? And do you notice that the grammar doesn't need to be complicated? Simple sentences, simple patterns, clear communication.
Yeah, and in the nervous version, I was trying to say the same thing, but it came out so confused. Not because I didn't know English, but because I was so focused on getting it right that nothing came out right.
Exactly. When you overthink grammar in the moment, your language falls apart. But when you trust your patterns and just focus on communicating, it comes together. And here's something I really want you to hear. The people you talk to every day are not grammar teachers. They're not listening for mistakes. They're listening for meaning. They want to understand what you're saying. And when you communicate clearly, even with simple English, they understand you. And that's all they need.
So they're focused on the message, not the grammar.
Yes, and you should be too. Focus on your message. What do you want to say? What do you need to communicate? And then say it with simple patterns and a confident voice. Let the grammar take care of itself. And over time, with practice, your grammar will improve naturally. But it improves through speaking, not through silence.
Grammar improves through speaking, not silence. I really need to write that down.
It's true. Every time you speak, you're training your brain. You hear what sounds right and what sounds wrong. You get feedback from the people around you. You notice patterns. And slowly, without even focusing on rules, your grammar gets better. But none of that happens if you stay silent.
So silence is actually the worst thing I can do for my grammar.
Yes, counterintuitive, isn't it? People think they're protecting their English by staying silent, but actually, silence is what keeps their English from improving. Speaking, even with mistakes, is what creates growth.
I've been thinking about this all wrong.
A lot of people do, and it's completely understandable, because we're taught in school that mistakes are bad, that you should only say something if you're sure it's right. But language learning doesn't work that way. Language learning is messy, it's imperfect, it's trial and error. And that's beautiful, because every mistake is a lesson, every attempt is progress.
Every attempt is progress. I love that.
It's true. Now, let's talk about what you can do right now to start speaking more freely. First, give yourself permission to be imperfect. Decide today that you are allowed to make grammar mistakes, that making mistakes does not make you a bad English speaker. It makes you a practicing English speaker, and practicing is exactly where you need to be.
Give myself permission to be imperfect. That sounds so simple, but it's actually hard.
It is hard because we've been taught that imperfection is failure. But in language learning, imperfection is the path to improvement. So give yourself that permission. Write it down if you need to. I am allowed to make mistakes. I am learning, and mistakes are part of learning.
I am allowed to make mistakes.
Yes, say it again.
I am allowed to make mistakes.
Good. And everyone listening, say that too, out loud. I am allowed to make mistakes, because you are. Now, second thing you can do, start using the 5 patterns we practiced today. In every English conversation you have, try to use at least one of them. I want to, I need to, I'm going to, I like, I have to. These patterns are reliable, they're correct, and they can carry almost any message.
5 patterns. I can remember those.
Good. And third, when you feel the grammar fear coming, take a breath and think about your message, not your grammar. Ask yourself, what do I want to communicate? And then say it as simply as you can. Simple is always better than complicated and confused.
Simple is better than complicated and confused.
Exactly. Now let's do our confidence practice. I'm going to say some affirmations and I want Alex to repeat them. And everyone listening, say these out loud too. Really mean them. Ready?
Ready.
I can communicate clearly.
I can communicate clearly.
I do not need perfect grammar.
I do not need perfect grammar.
Simple English is enough.
Simple English is enough.
I speak and my English improves.
I speak and my English improves.
Mistakes help me grow.
Mistakes help me grow.
I choose to speak even when I'm not sure.
I choose to speak even when I'm not sure.
My message matters more than my grammar.
My message matters more than my grammar.
I am becoming more confident every day.
I am becoming more confident every day.
How do those feel?
They feel true. Like when I say them, I actually believe them.
Good, because they are true. And I want you to say those every day, not just today, every day. Because changing the way you think about your English takes time and repetition. And these affirmations help rewire the way your brain approaches speaking. Now, let me leave you with one final thought. Grammar is not the door to speaking English. Speaking English is the door to better grammar. You don't fix the grammar first and then start speaking. You start speaking and the grammar fixes itself over time. Every conversation you have is making your English better. Every sentence you say, even an imperfect one, is training your brain. And every time you choose to speak instead of staying silent, you are making a choice that will pay off for the rest of your English learning journey.
That completely changes my perspective. It's not speak when you're ready, it's speak to get ready.
Yes, speak to get ready. That's exactly it. You speak your way to better English, not study your way and then speak. Speak first. Study will support it, but speaking comes first.
I feel so different about this now. Like the grammar fear has always felt like something protecting me, but really it was holding me back.
And now you know. And now you can let it go. You don't need perfect grammar to speak English. You need a clear message, a simple pattern, and the courage to open your mouth. And you have all 3 of those things right now.
I really do feel that way. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you for practicing with me today. And thank you to everyone who listened. You are braver than you know, and your English is better than you think. Thank you so much for joining us today on Clearly English. If this episode helped you feel more confident about speaking without perfect grammar, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new lesson. And please leave a comment below and tell us, what is one sentence you are going to say in English today, right now, even if the grammar is not perfect? Write it in the comments. We want to see you practice. We want to celebrate your courage. Remember, grammar improves through speaking, not silence. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep speaking every day. We believe in you. See you next time.
See you next time.